Carl, my buddy.
Hi, everyone.
We are going to be starting our famous award-winning chili cook-off recipe that you're going to be able to see and watch as we put this all together, okay? So stand by, here we go, and we're starting with the wine.
You're going to love our chili.
There you
Salud.
go. Salud. Alright, so here we are. There's Carl's washing his hands. We're going to get started. This is Sam's kitchen. Sam's kitchen. It's got all kinds of room. Here's our ingredients. We're going to start making this. There's our pots, and you'll be able to go right along with us, see how this whole thing works as we progress through.
Very easy to do.
Very easy to do. Okay, here we go. This is the start. We're going to start with Italian sausage. Remember, this is Sam and Carl's spicy Italian chili. So Carl is working on the sausages here right now. We've got spicy hot Italian sausage that he's going to peel the casing off, and then we're going to chop it as we cook into very fine pieces along with onions and peppers that we're going to be cooking along with it. And here's some of our other ingredients. We've got the wine in the background. That doesn't go in the chili, that goes in the stomach. And we've got some diced tomatoes, we've got some tomato sauce, tomato paste, we've got some kidney beans, and we've got some black beans. And then we got a lot of spices, and we got the onions and the peppers. We're going to be putting oregano, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and the famous Formato Brothers Giardiniera, hot spicy Giardiniera mix, pepper mix. Okay, we'll show you more about that as we go through. So here we are, we're cutting the onions. Not too small, just, you know, take, depending on how much you're going to make. We're going to be making a double batch here. Matter of fact, we're going to be making 2 double batches, getting ready for a big party at Carl's house. And here we go, here we're cooking some onions. This is a handy little electric frying pan, but it's a modern day electric frying pan. I use it a lot to saute onions and things. And here's, we're making a double batch. So here's another, this is a regular Teflon pan. So basically all we're going to do is saute some onions. And you can, you know, there's a couple rules of thumb that I always have. You can never use too many onions, you can never use too much oregano, and you can never use too much garlic powder, or garlic. So those things really bring out flavor. And you see over here, Carl's chopping some red peppers, and we're going to chop those up and put those in. And he's also getting some celery prepared. That's going to be going in there. So there he is. Carl is the master of the chopping. He's my my ultimate sous chef here.
I am.
There you go. So here's Carl working on the sausage.
I'm going to break it up into the pan, put it into the pot.
Okay, here's what we do with the sausage. As you can see, Carl is, I'll zoom in here a little bit. Carl is breaking this sausage up with his hand and getting it in there in the frying pan. And then what we're going to do, then he'll start, as it cooks, he'll start chopping it with a little spatula to get it down into fine pieces. So this is real critical. Okay, while Carl's doing the sausage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking tomato paste, and I'm going to mix it with water and put it in the bottom of a large saucepan, and then get that going, and we're going to add the sausage, onions, and peppers, and then we're going to start adding celeries and beans. And it's a real simple recipe, actually, but it's got a lot of flavor. We're going to add some spices to it. It's got a lot of flavor to it. When we put the Formato Brothers spicy pepper mix in there, it's going to give it a lot of zing, as you'll see if you make it yourself. And it's a very healthy recipe. I mean, we're not putting anything that is with very little oil in here. The sausage could be, we're using pork sausage, but you could use turkey sausage. They have hot Italian turkey sausage, very good. Or you can use, you know, just low-fat hamburger if you want, with the same kind of recipe we're using. But the sausage gives it a little more of that Italian spice that's missing with the hamburger. So I'm going to start preparing the saucepan with all the beans and the celery and the tomato paste and the diced tomatoes. Here we are. Here's our little sauce. This is just tomato paste and a few cans of water thrown in there, and as you'll see, it'll thin up a bit as we start adding the diced tomatoes and some of the other stuff. And here's how our sausage mix looks right now. Just getting cooked up there, getting all the pink out, like Carl likes to say. If all the pink doesn't come out, that's okay too, because it's going to cook in the chili, and that'll definitely get all the pink out with that hot red sauce. Okay, so here's where we're going to be taking these and putting them in that can just in about a minute here, and we'll show you how we're going to do all that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these black beans and put them roasting a lot of chili, a lot of Mexican stuff. But I'm going to clean them up here. Make sure you wash them up good. Get all that sauce and stuff off them so they're nice and clean. And then I'll just put these right in the sauce pot. Just like this. And I'm going to put the sauce pot on fire, get that going. And I'm going to do the same with the red kidney beans. Okay, here's what we're going to do now. We're going to take our little sausage mix and we're just pouring it right in the saucepan. Get it all out there. This is a heavy little pan here. So we want to capture all that good stuff. All these good onions and everything, just scrape that all in there. It's a little hot. This is almost a two-man operation if you're using a heavy pot. Get it all in there, and here's what it looks like. We just stir that all in there. Starting to look like chili, huh? We're going to start cooking it and add some spices. Yeah, okay. There. Take this guy here. Take this guy. I'll put him. Start putting this stuff right in here. See, we're making actually we're making 4 batches here. We're having a big party. But when you do it, it'll be a lot smaller batches. If you want to have it for your friend, or if you want to have a big party, you can make it. It's real easy to make. So here's Carl now putting the celery. I'm going to put celery in and put a few more red peppers in. This is good stuff here. Celery gives it a little crunch, it's nice and healthy. It makes it more of a jardinera type of chili. Okay, so now we got the diced tomatoes, and we're going to put those in the sauce also, or in the chili also. But don't wash these. I washed the beans, but we're not going to wash the diced tomatoes. So just put them in there, and we've used about maybe 2 cans of water for every can of tomato paste. Now, when you're done, when it's it's going to thin up a little bit as you cook it, and when later on after with the seasoning and everything, if it's still a little too thick for you, then you can put some water in to your suiting. Okay, but be careful, because once you put the water in, then to get it thick again, you're going to have to cook it a long time. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, we've got our 2 pots cooking right now. We got actually 4 batches here that we're making. 2 batches in each pot. Now we're going to start adding the spices. So what we're going to do is add some tablespoons and teaspoons. Now oregano, for each, the recipe calls for about 2 tablespoons of oregano for each pot, so we'll put about 4 in here. I'm a little generous, like I say, can never have too much oregano. And then pepper, we're going to put about a tablespoon of pepper in for 2, so it's about a teaspoon for each batch. And then garlic powder. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons in also of that. And then you don't have to be exact. And then salt, about 1 tablespoon of this. For 2 batches, or a teaspoon or so. You salt it to your taste. Okay? And then the real key ingredient, but this you got to be real careful about, because if you put too much of this in, it'll kill you. This is Formato Brothers Hot Pepper Spread. It's great. Really spicy stuff. And we're going to put 2 tablespoons per batch. So we're putting 4 in here. And then I'm going to put a tablespoon of the oil in here also. And that's going to give it the zing of the chili, and it's going to be magnifico. Okay, so we're back. Here we go. Here's our chili. Cooking up a storm there, just simmering. We're going to let it simmer for maybe about, I don't know, 40, 45 minutes. And then we're actually going to let it, and this is pretty much a good rule of thumb for all red sauces. We're going to let it sit overnight. And when it sits overnight, and then you warm it up the next day, it just really gets those flavors all mixed into each other and much, much better. Now you can eat it the same day, but it just gets a little bit more flavorful if it's got a night to set.
You're gonna love our chili.
There you go.
Salud.
Salud.